This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. And make sure you hit the hype button and subscribe. All right, guys, let's get right into this. All right, so Toronto police seal off Drake's ice blocks over public safety concerns. Fans were seen using sledgehammers, pickaxes to break through this ice. It's a big ice block. About, I would say it's like 6 or 7 parking spaces large, by 2 long parking spaces. But it's in a parking lot in Toronto. Yeah, let me get a bird's eye view. Somebody did a bird's eye view of it. And the album release date is in here. It doesn't mean that, I don't think he ever said that once the ice melts, the album comes out. I think he said that when you get to the bottom, you'll see when the album comes out. Which, let's see, what's the weather in Toronto? Toronto. It's 41 degrees. This ice isn't melting overnight. This ice could take weeks. It's going to get to 50 next week, 57 on Wednesday. That might help it melt a little bit. But it'll rain on Saturday. That'll help melt it. It might take a week or 2 to melt this thing. I mean, people are busting through the ice and everything, but now the cops have sealed it off because it is a hazard. I don't even understand how Drake got insurance to do this project, because someone could slip on the ice, fall off, break their neck. There's no security precautions. I would have had blow-up stuff all around it in case someone fell off the ice sculpture. This is a hazard waiting to happen. People are lighting fires on top of it. This thing is like just a walking hazard. This could be an album rollout disaster, if you ask me. Look, they have a fire on top. This is one streamer that was arguing with a cop saying, hey, you're delaying this album from coming out. I think somebody took a flamethrower to it. Lots going on, man. One streamer was there, and I saw that Drake got in his live and gifted him a bunch of subs, and he went crazy. So Drake's doing a lot of album promo right now. He's blowing things up for music videos, blocking off streets. So Iceman, for sure, is definitely close. I'd say within 6 weeks. I feel like it's going to drop in June. That's just me, though. Because, if he drops early June, it turns out for the summer. You have songs for the summer. This is Birdman. Looks like a doll here. So he recently talked about kissing Lil Wayne on the lips. He says, and Lil Wayne, it's not like Lil Wayne was against this. Lil Wayne liked it. It's like on BET, he said, the only person that can kiss Birdman is me on the lips. Not no girls, only him. Those lips are reserved for him. That was the weirdest thing ever. That actually made me stop listening to Cash Money music for a while back in the day. This was like 106 and Park days, right? That's where he did it. Like 04, I guess? 03, 04? It was somewhere around there. I remember watching. I was like, what? What did he just say? What? Now, today, kids would be like, oh, yeah. Because, kids are more. Our era was like, what did he just say? That turned a lot of people off of South music for a while, to be honest with you. Anyways, I can see why Cash Money and Young Money just don't get along anymore. That's the streamer that got the gifted subs too, right here. You got 200 gifted. What is that? Like $1,000, right? So Drake, all these guys, I see why Cash Money, Young Money can't link up again. They're the worst, bro. They all listen. If if Birdman has beef with Rick Ross, which he has for a while, right? Remember they were supposed to do an album called H. That was back in 2009. And Actually, that was like 2008 because Rick Ross was smashing Foxy Brown around that time. All right, so okay, this H album was supposed to come out. They recorded a bunch of songs that never came out. Like one song came out. Then and this was a great. This was like. This was a great continuance of the DVD era. Okay, I remember do all these video. Everything felt organic. It's not like today, you know. That never came out. Then later, I think around 2014 or 15, Birdman had issues with Wayne and paying him, and then Rick Ross came out with that track exposing Birdman, and he did all those. Remember, he used to diss Birdman. He used to actually. I'm surprised nothing happened to Rick Ross because like Birdman. Let's see, Rick Ross dissing Birdman. I'm surprised nothing ever happened to Rick Ross because like he's always in Miami. Birdman's in Miami a lot. And it's just like I can't believe that Birdman never caught up with him. Ever. Because Birdman is way more gangster to me than a Rick Ross, right? Let's see. Let's see.
You know, or didn't expect.
All right, let me pull up something else. I remember one where he was at he was at his house, right? Let's see. Rick Ross diss Birdman. He kept talking about his house getting in foreclosure and all this stuff, and I was like, I think it's one of these. Here it is. He was like, buy your man's house back.
Question. I saw you posted you got more money than Ricky Rose. And let's assume you did. Well, your best friend, Birdman, his house went into foreclosure 5 years ago. You done watched that man struggle them 5 years and ain't get that man a mansion? Because if you got more money than Rose, what's another 50 million, white boy? White boy, it's one for 40.
He's talking to Drake.
Yeah, Rick Ross continuing.
They talking big bank, take little bank.
For some reason, I think them niggas don't really fuck with the boy, but I don't give a fuck. For some reason,
Back in 2000.
Ross sit up underneath forever, stalking my style and peeping my sauce. You hear me? But there's a lot of niggas.
Hey, that's what Birdman house was at, right over there. Stunner. That's where your house was at, right there. Real player.
And he said, Turk home.
Is there anything about Ross?
White boy, be.
No, just didn't.
I can't find it anymore, but he used to go really crazy with it. Now he was like, come and get me, and all this stuff. Birdman, but at the same time, so Birdman, Drake's under Cash Money, Young Money. And Drake's doing songs with Rick Ross still. All that time. No. If this man's got beef, and then Lil Wayne's still hanging out with Rick Ross, right? And now they're cool again. And 50 Cent always warned people. He said,
Is there anything about Ross and his career that you have any respect for?
Oh no, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. I never.
Now he always said stay out of the Birdman Lil Wayne thing, right? Because they're gonna be cool again, and they were. At the same time, Drake's hanging out with Cardi B, who has beef with Nicki Minaj. So it's like, of course, you wonder why when he's having this beef with Kendrick, why they stay clear of it. Yeah, they can still do music together, Drake and Nicki or this and that. But there's no loyalty where it's like, you got beef, I got beef. They don't roll like that anymore, you know? They don't roll like that. That's been going on for a while. I mean, that's why he got no support from them from the Kendrick thing. That's why Lil Wayne didn't care either, because who does Drake who does Lil Wayne have problems with that Drake? I think Lil Wayne saw a lot of that stuff too, and was just like, Drake's just kind of like whatever, you know, like Drake expects loyalty but doesn't give it sometimes, you know. I like Drake as an artist. He's creative, and everything, but I don't think he's giving loyalty to people who give it to him all the time. He expects it from others because, he gives you some money in a sense where he does a record with you and this and that. And yes, that does command a certain amount of loyalty, but it's not equal, So one person's going to end up feeling like the little man. And you are the little man, technically, but it's like there's nothing, like that's how things fell out. That's how things are. Drake's the top guy. It is what it is. It's not like you can just go to the studio more than Drake and be better than Drake. You have to come up with the material, and Drake has a machine. It's not just him. Like. He has a machine of people that are really good, 40, Party. He has his own clique of, I wouldn't say writers, but just because, bro, he has to have help. It's not even a thing where it's like, it's a thing to me where it's like, oh my God. When you look at the amount of music this guy's put out, he's had to have assistants, and that's okay. He's like a pop singer almost at this point. He's so big. He has as many listens as a pop singer, That's why the Drake and Kendrick thing didn't matter to me. It didn't make sense to me because I was like, Kendrick's more isolated in his thing. I mean, he gets a little bit of help too because when he does those big records with like a Rihanna or a SZA, those big pop records, there's a lot of people working on that. Those records don't just organically happen. They're constructed. If you listen to the people that work on records like that, there's a lot of studying that happens. Like at this point, the record has to change to this. It's all psychology for people's minds listening to it to make it a hit pop record. Okay. So there has to be assistance because there's a science to it. It's not just, oh my gosh, it works. You have your records like, oh my gosh, it just worked. Then you have your records where it's like, this was constructed to be a hit. Somebody studied what makes a hit, and they put the right recipe in and put the marketing behind it. Sometimes it doesn't go, but usually, with the right people, it goes. And then, so they just like the whole thing is just a mess over at Cash Money and Young Money. Let's just be real, Then you got their own turmoil with the older guys like Turk and BG and Juvenile. There's a mess over there. They can't even do an organized tour. And people always fail to realize that, hey, sometimes your ego is the worst thing ever because all these guys clicked up. Do you think people get along? Do you think everybody gets along at like a Tesla or something like that? I'm not talking about the people that are building the car. I'm talking about the main core people. There's usually like 10 people running the company, right? 10 people, heads of different divisions, right? Do you think they all get along? No. But they put their egos aside and they work together to make the product. And that's what you're supposed to do with music too. But people always get in their feelings and they got that phone and they get on the phone and be like, you know what, man, I'm going to tell you the truth about such and such. And things go left. And they ruin the whole thing. Time after time after time. Right now, Rick Ross is desperate to get Minx in Miami off. He wants to prove that he can still have a hit record with music. But it's not going to go. It's a great record though. I like it. But it's just not going to go, man. Let me see if I can pull it up and see what it's at today. Now, it did surpass 1 million, as you would expect, right? But it's not going. It went up like another 40,000 last night. It's not a lot. It's dwindling off. It's a great record, though. Don't get me wrong. But there's probably not a lot of money put behind it. It's not like, it's like I don't even know. It's not like back in the day where like you could have a street classic People don't have that attention span for that anymore. Let's see. Just for fun, we're at the end of the stream. Yeah, we're at the end of this video, anyways. Just for fun, let's see where T.I.'s at. He's trying to put his Let Him Know is at 26 million. That's a solid record. That's a borderline low key hit, I'd say. In a sense, I wouldn't say a hit, but like it's a low key solid record. What else he got? He got this record out straight from the A. Would you see Young Fly? PSCT. Is this the one that I was thinking about, bro?
Hey, cool. We got.
I don't know what the hell that is. War Snippet, 1 million. Oh, so he didn't really put out any records after that. So he must have put some money behind this Let Him Know record. It's a good record. What else came out that I was tracking? You got French, Montana, and Max B. They are, they have, what's that song called? What's the name of it? There's so many, what's the one I'm looking for? It's the only one that actually went. They say it's climbing the charts. Let me see, hold on a sec. Oh, it's got to be at the top of French Montana's thing. Let me see. French Montana. Ever since you left me. Yeah. Now, this record is at 18 million, so it's gone up another 7 million. T.I.'s record is surpassing this by a lot. I don't think this record's going to go because Max B destroyed the record. But if French Montana had gotten, like, somebody else on it. There's this whole thing recirculating now, too, that, like, French Montana and, was sent to, cease and by Drake. He shut down a record because Rick Ross was on it, or if Metro Boomin was going to benefit from it. This is what the beat from 2024 that's coming back up, where Rick Ross jumped out the window, dissed Drake, called him BBL Drizzy, called him, along with Metro Boomin, and then called him white boy. He went too far. I don't think they could. I mean, if they repair that, it's just straight so they don't have any issues, but it's not to, like, do music again. Like, that relationship is where, like, Meek Mill's was now. It's like, ain't working together. We're cool. We ain't working together no more. Remember when Meek Mill was hoping that Drake would jump on a record in 2023 when Ross and Meek Mill did that album together? He was like, yeah, the boy's going to be on a record soon. They're like, yeah, for sure. 1 year later, beef with Rick Ross. That's not happening. Anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. I'll check you guys in the next one. Sorry to make this video long. I was just checking some stuff at the end. Make sure you subscribe. I'll check you guys later. We have plenty of new news to report on later. Anyways, peace.